feel that it just went bad. Like it wasn't. There was a need for all of the criminal activities that happened, all the burning and looting and all that.
Do you think that anything positive came out of it?
I mean, yeah, probably people wanted to voice their opinions, how they felt, but then we had all the people going to those events for the wrong reasons.
And you can draw a distinction between a person's voicing their displeasure, protesting, and looting or rioting.
Yes.
David Lundgren, you're in Minneapolis. For the rest of us that watched on television the protests and what happened in Minneapolis and happened in other cities, frankly, too, it's not the same. Give us a perspective of what all of these potential jurors went through, along with you, all of the residents of Minneapolis during the aftermath of George Floyd's death.
For several days, our community watched peaceful protests during the day. And then as night fell, those peaceful protests transformed into something completely different. Something where our communities and institutions were burned down. Incredible damage was caused to the places that we all know and love and grew up, visiting and just it was probably the most difficult time in my life, and I know that it was the most difficult time in a lot of other people's lives to see the pain and the hurt that was caused on our communities. With that being said, I think most people understood that the underlying movement, the peaceful protests, were largely just that. And what occurred when the darkness fell was not part of that movement. We had curfews. Curfews are something I've never experienced growing up in a free society, and curfews were imposed on not just Minneapolis but all of the surrounding communities. And it was truly, I hope, once in a lifetime experience, and I also hope that a lot of positive change can come from the peaceful protests that were largely driven during the daylight hours.
Yeah, and I know the city is still recovering, and physically and emotionally, all of this potential jury pool, they lived through a shared experience, and it's part of the voir dire, as you might expect. All right. Brian Dunn, David Lundgren, thank you very much for your expertise over the last hour. We're going to step aside, take a break. When we come back, it's the Daily Sidebar. Don't go away. We'll be right back.